Stratton is really setting up this new action hero played by Dominic Cooper, and he's a special forces operative. He's from the SBS, which not many people know about because they're much more secretive than the SAS or the Navy SEALs, and they're not your usual big muscly guys who we're used to seeing in movies. They're actually very secretive. There's a very small number of them, but they were the originals. They're who the Navy SEALs in the US based their force on.
The man himself, when I spoke at length to Simon about this, who wanted him to be quite specific in that he didn't want him to be an out-and-out action hero. He wanted him to be a person who, I think, fitted into any environment, and unlike the Navy SEALs, they're much more able and what's the word? They can. What's the word for not someone who's like over the top? There's someone subtle. They're more subtle. They're not. They don't. Their appearance isn't obvious.
This film is really about all the skills and talents that they bring to an operation, and this film is actually about an attack on London using a drone. This new form of technology that we're all so familiar with now, but in the hands of a terrorist, it's quite a frightening weapon. And this film is about how the SBS would combat that. And it starts in Iran, goes to Italy, to Rome, and finally ends up in London. So it's a classic sort of action-adventure film with spies, special forces, but it's based on reality rather than fantasy. So everything that happens in it has either really happened, based on what's been told to me by SBS operatives, or it's how they would respond to it if this sort of thing did happen.
I feel like it was quite a unique movie in terms of it wasn't sort of overloaded with action. I felt like there were really interesting storylines, character plot lines, subplots that just sort of made the film feel more three-dimensional than just an action-packed movie. And obviously the chance to work with Simon West and the various other cast members as well was too good to turn down.
I love driving cars in films, so car chases around Italy, which were just outrageous. We were I was driving an Alfa Romeo around some of the most, at midnight, some of the most incredible monuments, like the priceless structures. And I'm kind of doing donutting an Alfa Romeo on cobbles, going, are you sure this is all right? Which I don't know whether it was. That was fun. All the action sequences I really enjoyed. I loved learning about scuba diving and those techniques. I loved learning about the techniques and the specificity of the targets. I loved learning about the guns. Just basically all the things that those guys, a snapshot, a tiny little essence of what they put themselves through and what they have to achieve, for me was, but yeah, I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
Well, I think they're going to discover a new British action hero in Dominic's character, Stratton, and it's a sort of an intriguing story, and it's, as I said, it's a very realistic story, but they're going to see London portrayed in the centre of this action story, but I think it's something like a realistic version of Bond, really. So if you like Bond, you'll love this, but it's an alternative.